Man, my man Christian Escobedo looked like he had superpowers, dialing it up. Looked like Makai Nelson on the receiving end of that touchdown, and I believe that was the Gotta Believe tournament. That Mountain Point one, playing under, I believe, AZ Rain. Um, just looking as talented as everybody knows that they are. So shout out to them. Congratulations. And I believe that me and Gridiron addressed that in a previous episode shortly after they won that thing. Lots going on in the sevens world. Your boy Chili. I was out there at Battle in Vegas, Super Bowl weekend this past weekend. Super Bowl, also crazy. Man, I didn't know if offenses were going to do anything, based on the way things were going. And I personally was going to vote the kicker, the MVP. I thought he did. I just thought that he did a great job. What was it, like 5 field goals, like Super Bowl record? I think he had like 17 points by himself. He literally beat the Patriots pretty much by himself. So, and shout out to Kenneth Walker. I know that he did a great job running the ball and putting the kicker in the position to make those kicks and things like that. Sam Darnold, some solid performances. I really thought that it was that Seahawks defense, so that really was the difference. But going into it, I got to be honest. I thought the Patriots were going to win. My reasoning, good, bad, or otherwise, I just thought that, a team that was that successful away from home, luck or otherwise, was going to have, I don't want to say an easier time to prepare, but an easier time to prepare for a neutral site game, even as big as the Super Bowl. That's just what I thought. So there's that. And I really thought Drake May was a dude, and he still is. And I'm sure that they're going to get back into positions to put themselves in future Super Bowls. Should be a lot of fun to see down the line for all you Patriots fans out there, because I know there are still some. Let's see. Next year, the Super Bowl taking place. I tweeted this out. Taking place in SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles on Valentine's Day. So is it going to be wings or steaks? It's like, how are we all going to figure this thing out? Is it going to be a boys' day / evening? Or I guess, you know what? Like, the Super Bowl does end kind of early, so you could get a late Valentine's Day dinner in 9:00, 9:30 variety, barring overtime or whatever. That might be kind of cool. Then you can get the best of both worlds. Although you are going to be filled with like all the cool appetizer stuff, wings, chips, dip, salsa, guac, all that stuff. And then you're going to have to go try to, eat a steak or something, steak, lobster, all that good stuff. I don't know how that's going to work for everybody. I don't know that, I'm trying to not consume so much food these days. Like, I'm trying to be better about the portions and rations that I eat. Anyways, we do got a somewhat fully loaded show. Beetlejuice will be joining us later on to talk about some things going on in the sports world. We do have Gridiron. Gridiron's going to be jumping on to talk about, some 2027s whose stock seems to be soaring. And a quick look. It's going to be a very, very quick look at a super talented sevens team. We're just going to go through that thing briefly, but yeah, man, the Suns taking care of business. I know they got the Mavericks tonight and then Oklahoma City tomorrow night. Special things going on Val Vista. Beetle, we'll get into that a little bit. Other than that, I'm curious, a little bit what people thought of like the halftime show. Obviously, not trying to touch on the sensitive subjects or anything like that, but listen, I enjoyed it. My dad is from Peru, and my dad thought that it was really cool to see the NFL do something like this. And I don't know, I don't disagree. the United States, everybody always says it's a melting pot, right? I think it's a culture thing. And listen, if you didn't watch it and you went and watched something else, also cool. Like maybe you don't like hip hop, maybe you don't like reggaeton, maybe you don't like certain genres of music. All good. I'm not mad. If that's the reason that you flipped the channel, cool. But if the only reason that you flipped was because like, yo, dude, I do not want to see Bad Bunny perform because he's a different culture, problem. That is a problem. Like, give it a chance, check it out. You don't like it, not your flavor, all good. Go find something that is. You know what? Like for years, friends or whoever, maybe they weren't into whoever the halftime performer was, and they would take a break and go get some other things done, and then they would come back and watch the game. It's really about the game. The halftime show is just a part of it. But I personally thought it was dope. I'm not super fluent in Spanish, but I speak enough of it, so I'm not going to get my head chopped off or anything like in Mexico by the cartel. I think I could fake my way through it. Let me check in with Gridiron real quick, make sure that he got the super secret link to jump on the show, because sometimes Gridiron's internet connection is acting up. Boom, link sent. But yeah, man. Also have to rep for my guy, Coben Bourget. He was out there coaching the Tucson Turf Sevens team that won battle this past weekend, Battle Vegas. Also shout out to Pops Toby Bourget, who's out at the Super Bowl festivities, helping to coach flag football, educate many pros and celebrities and stuff on the game of flag football, how it's supposed to be played and things like that. I know he's coaching some national stuff. I know he's spending some time coaching the girls Tucson Turf programs this flag season. So super exciting stuff. Hopefully I can get him out. Hopefully I can get Papa Bourget out for Flight Club flag, which will be June 26th, getting some interest on it. So I'm super excited. I think I'm going to have somewhere close to 12 to 16 teams this year, and it should be a lot of fun. Also, things that are transpiring. Camp season is coming up. Make sure that you guys are, checking your DMs and your, I guess, spam emails. If you have your email, if you don't have your DMs open, which you should, everybody should have their DMs open at this point. Make sure that you guys are checking your emails. If those things are on your profile, make sure you're communicating with your coaches, things like that, because they might have the keys to get you in some of these super exclusive events. Under Armour is coming to town. I know that there's a UR athlete coming. I know that there's a UR athlete camp. I'm not sure exactly where that's at. Nike's the opening taking place. Nike's the opening is taking place in Los Angeles, I believe, next weekend. Elite 11, some of those camps, Rivals camp. So make sure that you guys are staying tuned to your DMs, following guys like Adam Gorney, Greg Biggins, people like that, because those are most likely who you're going to get the invites from. For the Under Armour thing, you want to make sure that you're following guys like Brandon Huffman, Greg Biggins. There's another gentleman. God, I cannot remember his name to save my life right now. But if you have any questions, at Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, holler at me if you got any questions for some of you guys that have the DMs open. Make sure that you guys check in. Some guys that did stand out this past weekend at Battle Vegas, real quick, I'm going to run them down, a handful of them. Will Menzel, Jai Jones over there for the 5 Stars team that I saw. I thought that they looked really, really good. Also, for the Dolphins, Aiden Whitaker, Caden Young from Liberty, Sawyer Hales was dropping dimes. Jacob, is it Jacob Kloffenstein? I want to say it's Jacob. No, it might be James. James Kloffenstein from Horizon, super talented receiver, was taking care of business. Connor Camus, I think it's Connor. Man, look, I don't have a prep sheet, so like I don't read off of anything, which is also my bad. Local guys for Tucson Turf that stood out to me: Talon Scott, Braxton Wynn, Zarek Sidney was a monster. Jake Rogers was dialed in. Really did a good job. Defensively, defensively they had some out of towners, but Nakai Lambeth was solid. But defensively they had some out of towners that looked good. I think it was Nakai Lambeth from Desert Edge that was balling. They had some out of towners. Brandon Nash from Bosco and Dennis Tuaone from Utah. Those guys were absolutely performing. Some super talented kids over there. So I wanted to show them some love. Another kid that I saw balling out, a quarterback from Utah, Jackson Hunt. He was playing with like the 702 elite team. So I want to show him some love. Braylon Clark also from Trillium Boys. Super talented athletes. Listen, you go to one of these battle events, you're going to be competing against, some of the top talent from around the country. The next stop will be Battle Houston. I am most likely going to be out there, so I can't wait to see some of the guys that might be out there. And I think that's about it. We are going to get to my guy Gridiron inside the number segment, the number one segment in high school sports. I don't care if it's radio, podcasting, whatever. There is not a better segment of information and football information, because Gridiron only does football stuff. So otherwise he'd be like Hardwood, Arizona, like repping the hardwood in basketball, but he's Gridiron. So anyways, without further ado, we are going to get to my guy Gridiron Arizona, and we are going to talk some rising stocks for some of these 27s and just show a little bit of love to the Dolphins. And I'll tell you why in a second. Your boy Chili and Gridiron going to be right back. 10 seconds.
Got everything. I got everything. It's a lot. Never mind what I got. Don't watch that 'cause it's all me.
That could not be more. Makai Nelson getting loose, but I think it was for D1 5-stars. All right, my guy
Hey,
Gridiron Arizona.
Just to let you know, we don't have the tweet on Twitter right now that you normally have for people to watch the show.
What?
You can click on your little picture that's on Twitter. And it will get you in that way. But I don't know if very many people are seeing the show tonight.
I don't know why that would be.
Because usually there's like a tweet from you, and that's how people know, and they can watch the show via a tweet that you have. So, and then I usually retweet that later. But
I'm going to do this. Boom. Hold on 1 second. Stand by.
Yep.
Okay. What's the date today? It's the 10th.
Today is the 10th.
It's 26. Season 9, right?
I believe so, yeah.
9. Yeah. Boom. All right. Tweet sent. All right, we're moving in real time again.
All right.
All right. Anyways, Gridiron, appreciate you with that note.
Cool.
Okay, we're up now. All right. Appreciate you with that note. Real quick.
I want us to get a Turning Point ratings. I wanted us to get Bad Bunny ratings.
Oh no.
That's kind of how that works.
Oh, how's that for inside the numbers? 143.3 million or something like that is actually what I heard. Real quick, I do want to show some love. This is going to change in the next few days. I'm going to guess like tomorrow possibly. But I do want to show some love to the Dolphins, who we went
through that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we broke down their roster.
Ranked one.
Yeah, they were the number one ranked team going into Battle Vegas. This is going to change and change.
Is this the Zorts, or is this the Zorts rankings?
Yeah, this is the official Zorts rankings.
Right.
The Arizona Dolphins were ranked number one after many stellar performances at Pylon, at Red Zone, and through the early part of the 7 seasons. They were ranked 1. Tucson Turf was ranked 2, I believe. And Valley's Finest was ranked 3rd. I think they lost 2nd or 3rd round, but they cooked early and we're 3-0 in pool play. Sawyer Hales was fantastic, absolutely dealing. Caden Young, Aiden Whitaker, guys that I mentioned earlier, and James Kloppenstein. I did get confirmation that it's James Kloppenstein. So
he's a 27.
My apologies, but I wanted to show love. I knew that there was a Klopp. I was just calling him Klopp. So he was making a bunch of plays. Looked super solid. Connor Camus was solid also early on. They got some dudes that are looking good. Jason Lee was carving teams up too. He was solid too. But yeah. Anyways, they were ranked number 1 going into Battle Vegas. This time next week, we are probably gonna have a new graphic. As Tucson Turf ended up winning Battle Vegas, and they were the number 2 ranked team in the country according to Zorts. So shout out to all our Arizona teams, all 3 of which we've covered. So just want to make sure that people understand. Hey, Gridiron only rolls with the winners.
And this is nationwide here. Okay, so we had AZ Dolphins 1, Tucson Turf 2, and Valley's Finest 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, hey,
D1 5-star 12, and AZ Angels 14.
Yeah, we got. Hey, listen, we got a lot of tough sevens teams. We got a lot of tough sevens teams. So, I hope the nation is taking notice, and we are getting a lot of coverage. So there's that. Also, shout out to Overtime Tess. I did see her. She's part of the Overtime community that does a sevens event, super exclusive. I saw her out there, and she was showing a lot of love to the Tucson Turf guys. She was checking out some of the Dolphins games, which makes me wonder maybe the Dolphins are going to find their way into OT7 this season. So hopefully they do. Hopefully they get that opportunity. But I do think that they're going to have to.
Tournament, is that how that works?
Yeah, it is. It is super exclusive, invite only. Somewhat similar.
Well, you look kind of bad if you're not inviting the team that's number 1 right now.
Ain't that crazy? No, they're going to fix that. But like I said, Tess was out there, Overtime Tess. You can find her on social media or whatever, but she was out there doing interviews and checking out teams. So I did notice that she poked her head over to the Dolphins and was watching a couple of the guys, mostly Sawyer Hales, and she seemed a little enamored with Caden Young and the work that he was doing, and Aiden Whitaker, the defensive plays that he was making. So I want to, recognize her for that, doing her homework. All right, Gridiron, it is time to move on since I know that Club 7's is your least favorite part of the program, but we cover it because our guys do it. So without further ado, what we are going to talk about, something that Gridiron absolutely loves, is we're going to talk about some stock rising on some of these guys, these 27s. Stock absolutely soaring and going through the roof. And we'll start off at the top over here with Talon Scott, the tight end athlete from ALA Queen Creek. He's been lately, tons of offers. One of them, I don't want to say surprise, but man, when I saw it drop, I was like, dang, dude, my man's really getting it. Jai Jones, a fantastic two-way athlete from Chandler. I'm not
assuming so it was the SEC offer that got your attention, right?
They all get my attention, but it's just always nice when an SEC school comes to town to check out the boys. Jai Jones is absolutely spectacular. One of my favorite football players in the 2027 class. Luke Farrell starting to cook a little bit, which I know there was a lot of people with a lot of concerns, but he's got some new weapons over there at Corona, and I think that Coach Lauer is going to get this thing right and dial up some opportunities, and opportunities are coming for him. David Rushing, look, we cover Southern Arizona also. The spectacular wide receiver athlete from South Point. I love him as a defensive back prospect, but he's absolutely cooking as a wide receiver. So, Gridiron, I'm gonna let you take it away. Go inside the numbers on some of these guys or all of these guys, and let us know, things that they're doing and what they're getting.
Yeah, looking at some juniors here, we got Talon Scott, 6'4", 225 from ALA Queen Creek, linebacker, edge, and tight end. Last season had 45 catches for 468 yards, 8 touchdowns. And then on defense, 44 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, and 7.5 sacks. Has 13 total offers, just his offers since January 29, so about a week and a half. Kansas, SMU, Boise State, Minnesota, and Auburn. Has 13 total offers. UCLA stopped by the ALA Queen Creek campus the last week of January. And Talon visited San Diego State, where he has an offer for a game last September. As you mentioned, he's playing sevens for Tucson Turf. Second team All 6A Southeast region at wide receiver, tight end. So a two-way player, got some recognition, kind of getting offered more on the offensive side of things, but certainly put up some defensive numbers too. Jai Jones, 6'2", 175 at Chandler, wide receiver, cornerback. Last season, 54 catches, 922 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He also had 8 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and apparently he was only thrown at 3 times. So I don't know how much he was on the field, but when he was, the teams weren't really challenging him. Has 24 total offers. His offers since January 21 are Wisconsin, Oregon State, and UCLA. He visited ASU the last weekend of January. He is a golden ticket recipient from the Sun Devils, and he led the Wolves in receiving yards and TD catches last season, and he also visited Cal in January. Good hands, clean route runner, cover guy at corner, and physical. First team All 6A conference at receiver, and then also a track athlete, ran an 11.02 in the 100 meters at last year's Chandler City Championships as a sophomore.
He's an absolute specimen. That kid is, some college is going to be so happy.
Then we got Luke Farrell, 6'5", 195, Corona del Sol quarterback. Last season, 2,020 passing yards, 12 TD passes, plus 4 rushing touchdowns. Has 10 total offers. That includes 4 that he's gotten since January 20th. South Florida, UNLV, San Diego State, and Oregon State. Works with Coach Gio and playing sevens for D1 5-star. And finally, David Rushing, 6'1", 170, Sal Point wide receiver. Last season, 34 catches, 589 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Has 7 total offers, 4 of those coming since January 20th. Washington State, New Mexico, San Diego State, Oregon State. His older brother Elijah is now at Oregon. High-level route runner, creates separation with acceleration and reliable hands. Another track athlete, ran a 10.88 in the 100 as a sophomore, and a second team All 6A Southern region at wide receiver.
Man, I think David's gonna breathe on a 10-6 in track this year. I think he's gonna that kid is getting faster and faster. Every time I watch him move, it's like he's just getting faster and faster. I think he's absolutely special. I know he's getting a lot of burn at wide receiver, and rightfully so. Like he's an absolute game changer. He gets downfield and he's a problem. But whenever I look at him, I swear I see a defensive back, and I think he'll be able to play either side of the ball given an opportunity.
I think
he'll probably have to pick one
for last season.
What's up?
I think he only played receiver last season.
I thought I watched him at Queen Creek on the defensive side of the ball for like 2 plays. It wasn't very many plays, but I did. I'm almost positive. Maybe it was like special teams or something, or maybe
last year's 100-meter dash. This would be for the state meet. Mesa Community College, May 16, 17. 10.59, the fastest.
Oh, sheesh.
That was senior DeMar Coleman. The fastest non-senior was Trey Knox. That means I'm reading the wrong thing. No, that's 25. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, because he was a junior. That's right. He's a senior.
Yeah,
he's a senior now. He was still a junior. Yeah. Yes, the fastest junior last year was Trey Knox. He ran an 11.02. He was in the final heat there and finished 7th overall. So
Trey's gonna be one of the fastest seniors this year.
Trey is the fastest returning senior from last year's state meet for the state time.
Yeah.
And so there, got that, and obviously you got these guys here that have run times right around there, 11:02 and 10:88. That will certainly be threats in there. I'm assuming that they're both doing track again here as juniors.
No, for sure. I don't see anybody challenge. Oh man, I just don't see anybody challenging Trey in his class for sure.
I know he's gonna
have
from him. He was all ready to go today. Of course, the first day that the spring thing, there was a tryouts today, or for the team sports and stuff like that. So they are getting ready to go. Basketball winding down the regular season here in the next week or two, and then we'll be on to the spring sports.
All right. Hey, Gridiron, I am curious your thoughts on the Super Bowl, the pacing of it, any favorite commercials. You already made a comment about the halftime shows.
No, I was concerned about the numbers. We did have 52 people watching it when I did look at it.
Oh, no.
It was not that exciting of a Super Bowl. I mean, in terms of the overall, I know people are going to say that they love it for the defense, but overall, I think you got to put it in the bottom 10 Super Bowls.
Bottom 10 out of 60?
In 3 quarters, it was 12-0. And New England's offense punted the first 8 times they had the ball. We were starting to wonder if the MVP of the game was Seattle's punter, because he pinned New England deep a couple times. And I knew that Seattle was going to have an advantage over New England on the defensive line versus New England's offensive line. And they certainly showed that with 6 sacks, and then that led to 3 turnovers. New England, Drake May ended up putting up a bunch of passing yards, but almost all of it was in the fourth quarter after it was decided. I want to say he was around 90 passing yards through 3 quarters. And the winning quarterback obviously has the redemption story there for the Seahawks. But he did complete only 50% of his passes in the game. So it wasn't New England's defense was kind of a bend but don't break. And my biggest takeaway from this is you look at it in terms of the what they say, the analytics in today's football, where you see so many teams go for it on 4th down. And we saw Denver go for it in the first quarter on a 4th and 1 from about the 20-yard line, where they could have taken a 10-0 lead before the bad weather came in. And in this game, Seattle seemed content to get the field goals because they knew that their defense was more than up to the task and would be able to hold them. And it was their second field goal. It was a 3-0 game. Seattle had the ball about 3rd and 12 from around the 25-yard line. And they ran the ball on 3rd down, not normally a running play, because they were just kind of throwing away the down because they knew they were in field goal range and they didn't want to jeopardize it. And they ended up kicking the field goal there, went up 6-0. Obviously wasn't, in command at that point yet, but you kind of had the feeling when it was 12-0, is New England going to score 12 points? And obviously they did get the 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. You can question them not going for 2 on the first one when they could have put it to an 11-point game. It ended up not coming back to bite them because they threw the pick 6. Or, well, I guess it wasn't a pick 6. It was technically a fumble that was returned for a touchdown.
But Gridiron, there's no way under God's hot sun that you could possibly tell me that you would rather watch one of the first 20 Super Bowls more than this past Super Bowl.
In terms of it being competitive,
this was competitive.
Oh, come on now. This was not competitive.
This was competitive. Come on. New England held them to field goals. Come on.
Well, they did for the first 3 quarters, and then they had the defensive score, and the offense only had 1 touchdown for Seattle in the game. But because the defense played so well, it was enough. And that's what I'm getting at. You have the teams like the Lions that go for it. Lions had a game this season. They went 0 for 5 on 4th downs, and sometimes it comes back to bite them there. Where Seattle, they were more than happy to just bring out the kicker. And some people thought he should have gotten the MVP.
I thought he should have gotten MVP.
he was
I
100 to
wanted to
1.
give him the
He was 100 to
MVP.
1
If I had
shot
a vote,
before
I
the
would have
game.
voted for him.
If the game had ended with only field goals, I think you'd had a better chance of it. But Walker did end up, I think, with about 140, 150 total yards in the game.
Yeah.
And would have gotten a second touchdown or a late touchdown that would have been a nice 30-yard run if it wasn't for the holding call. And I think the bigger thing was on the defense, you couldn't single out one person. It wasn't just one guy having a spectacular game, so I think that made it more difficult to figure out who the MVP would have been. So.
For sure. All right. What about the commercials? What about that portion of it? Was there a favorite
This will be known as the AI Super Bowl in terms of commercials. We had our .com Super Bowl. We've had our crypto and Bitcoin kind of Super Bowls in the past. A lot of AI stuff in this Super Bowl. You had a couple of the sentimental kind of ads there with the Budweiser one and the Lay's one. That a lot of people liked. Not as much on the humor side of things overall in the Super Bowl, though. There were big takeaways from it. Maybe the Pepsi duping on the Coke Bear there. That might have been about it.
I was a fan of the was it the Michelob commercial, the Kurt Russell one?
They did that last year. I think that was a Super Bowl commercial last year, where they did all the challenges. I mean, these were a couple different ones, but it was the same premise. Yeah.
And the Budweiser commercial, I thought that one was kind of cool. I liked when the horse came over and had the wings, and it looked like he had wings and stuff. I thought that was
it did.
Cool.
The eagle on his.
The one that I actually found humorous and kind of stupid was the Xfinity Jurassic Park commercial.
Yeah, and it made you wonder watching it. Is there another Jurassic Park coming? Is there another movie that I know about? And then the guy is Xfinity there, unplugging them back in. So.
And it was super glitchy though, but
it
was super glitchy. So I was like, guys, Xfinity, how are you gonna have this commercial and then be super glitchy at the same time? So hey, so did you just out of curiosity, I know you're not a hip hop head. You probably would have never came to a club that I DJ'd in unless I personally invited you. But were you a fan? Did you watch the Bad Bunny halftime show, and what did you think? What were your thoughts?
I always watch the halftime shows. I have to say I'm not familiar with Bad Bunny music. I did not know any of his songs. I'd heard of him obviously, but I was not familiar with any of his music or songs. I knew he was extremely popular. I knew he was the number one artist on Spotify, actually 4 years running. And I knew that he won the Grammy just a week before there for the record of the year. And we won one other one too that last week. I remember that was part of the telecast. I enjoyed the show. It was very festive. It made you feel like you were at a street festival in Puerto Rico, which I think is what they were after. But I kind of missed some of the message by not being able to understand what he was saying, and so you're kind of semi-connecting with the music if you don't speak Spanish. And when he hosted Saturday Night Live back in September, he kind of warned us we had 6 months to learn Spanish, and I didn't take him up on that. So I guess part of that is my doing. But I'm kind of more partial when it's music I know, whether it's a high school band halftime show, or whether it's the Super Bowl 15+ minute halftime show.
And listen, hey, Gridiron, and I love you for the honesty and the transparency. But the truth is this has probably been somewhat the case the past few Super Bowl halftime shows, like Kendrick Lamar. Did you really know everything about Kendrick Lamar and his music, all his songs? Is that stuff that you listened to leading up to?
That would be a similar type of thing. You
the
go back.
Difference was it was in English.
It was in English. It was in English. But no, I'm not as big in the hip hop thing. And they had the LA Super Bowl, where they had several
Dr. Dre, Eminem,
hip hop guys were all there. I knew a couple of those songs beforehand because some of that stuff is older. But for the most part, I'm more of a fan when they get not necessarily a pop artist, but my genre is kind of more skewed more toward rock music, or toward classic rock music, or toward 80s and 90s music, that I'm kind of geared more to.
So one of your favorite halftime shows, I'm guessing, this has to be up there, was Aerosmith, okay. And when they brought out Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake, and
I always like when they bring out cameos. Lady Gaga was there, and Ricky Martin, Cardi B, and so there were several cameos, as there always is. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, speaking of cameos, the Suns got to make a cameo in your segment. How are they doing versus the Mavericks right now? Is Cooper Flag banging on them or what?
I
have an idea. I'm not sure if you have it pulled up or not.
Suns have been struggling a little bit on this homestand. Oh, they got it back tonight. It's 36-16 here at the end of the first quarter. So they're getting it back tonight. There's like 10 teams in the NBA right now that are all that are all tanking, and so this is one of them in Mavericks. Which is weird that like a 30-year league is tanking right now, but they are. If you don't have a draft pick and you have 19 wins out of 52 games like the Mavericks do right now, you do things like you trade away players and you sit guys in different aspects, and you see a lot of teams that are right around that area doing that right now. Because
that's true.
I kind of call it like organizational tanking, which I think the Cardinals were also partially guilty of this season too. When you saw the injury report come out on a Thursday and stuff like that, and so-and-so's not playing, and they shut Kyler down pretty early on, and midway through the season, it kind of gave the look of, okay, we're playing the game, but if we don't win, we're kind of okay with that. We're sitting guys a little bit maybe extra than they necessarily need to be, and I call that organizational tanking.
I think the Cardinals need to find a way to bring Spencer Rattler back to Arizona.
I am not.
Tyler, package it up.
No, what I would like to see them do a quarterback. I'm hoping that there's some team that'll take a flyer on Kyler, and you contract next. Jacoby is under contract for one more season. It was a 2-year deal when they got him, so I'm expecting Jacoby to be there. I'd like to see him go after Malik Willis, backup over there.
A lot of people are talking about that.
He's going to be available, so I'd like to see them get him, and I'd like to see him draft a quarterback in the second day, like a round 2, and not the number 3 pick, either a round 2 or round 3, and then you can develop him.
You think the kid from Miami will be around then?
Carson Beck?
Yeah.
I'm.
You think he'll be around early second? You think he's going first?
Yes, I don't think he's. I don't think there might only be one or two quarterbacks go first round this year. I mean, maybe it'll change after the combine.
Well, Fernando's definitely one of them.
He's definitely one to the Raiders. Yeah, the Alabama quarterback probably goes in the first round. I don't want him to go to the Cardinals. I'm not impressed with him. But
not a Ty Simpson fan. Okay.
Yeah, not a Ty Simpson fan. But no, I'm not sure what what Carson Beck would probably be around then. I would guess that because I don't think he's going to be a first round pick. I kind of think he'd be more like a day 3 guy. Maybe like a 4th, 5th, 6th round kind of thing.
Dang, Carson Beck sliding all the way to day 3. You might be right though. I don't know, man. I think somebody's going to take a chance with what he did for Miami, brought them into the national championship game, arguably, like not by himself, but you know the deal. Like, I think that somebody might take a flyer on him thinking that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see him draft offensive line with that number 3 pick. The big kid from Utah or Miami would be the guys I wouldn't mind seeing.
Okay. I'm not mad.
You go beyond Mendoza. You're looking at Ty Simpson. See, Ty Simpson only has 15 starts at the college level. That's kind
true.
of the Penn State quarterback's a possibility. The LSU Nussmeier, he's a possibility there for that 2nd, 3rd round. Cade Klubnik from Clemson, but I don't think these guys are first round picks. I think they'd be
agreed
later.
Agreed. Well, we'll see what happens. Man, I'm surprised. I would have listen. I think if Rattler came home, and sat behind Brissett mostly.
Well, you'd have to trade for him right now, right?
yeah. Dump Kyler. Give them Kyler. Make that somebody else's headache.
Because he was drafted. Spencer was just drafted 2 years ago, so he's got to have 2 more years. It'd be like a 4-year deal for rookies, right?
Something like that. But I mean, look, man. I mean, we can make the numbers work. I mean, we would have to take something. We would also have to take.
Yeah, he's in
more
a 4-year rookie contract right now. It's not necessarily in the Saints' best interest to do anything with him right now because he's not costing them a lot of money.
But they got to do something. They can't keep Spencer and Tyler. Look, Tyler and Kyler, they could even have their own podcast or show or whatever. And it would be amazing.
I gotta believe Shuck is QB1 there in New Orleans.
Even more the reason to let Spencer come home.
The way that he finished out the season, the second half of the year, I got to think he's QB1. Yeah, but what I'm getting at is Rattler's deal. They're only paying him like $1 million a season. So he's not killing your salary cap right now.
No, he's not. But I mean, I think they want somebody that's gonna, effectively push whoever is gonna be that number one guy, whether it's Tyler or Spencer or whoever. But I think that first off, also, and no shade. This is no shade, but I think Spencer got the tougher part of that schedule, playing the first portion of it. That's just my opinion. And that's really either here or there, right? Because even if Spencer would have played the second half and Tyler would have played the first half, I would have said the same thing. Tyler got the tougher part of that, and you have to see what Spencer could do.
It made sense to put Spencer in there first, just because he had a little more experience. And he was there the previous year. Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways, Gridiron, I appreciate you, and we're gonna go through some more. Most likely 27s next week, and we're going to have a new graphic for the number 1 ranked team in the country because that team is going to be from Arizona, a 7s team. So we're going to show some support that way.
There's no tournaments this weekend, is there? Is there a tournament this weekend?
No, I'm sure there is, but
now I guess that Zorts we said it was before the Vegas one,
battle,
right? Yeah, before the one we just had, right? Battle Vegas.
I believe it was per their February 6th.
I'm looking at the rankings on here, and there's no date. It doesn't say like effective certain date. So it says that Tucson Turf and AZ Dolphins had played 2 tournaments up to that point.
Yeah.
So that's probably right. Not include Vegas then. So I guess we could have updated rankings next week because they could update it from Vegas. They're just a little slow because this thing ended 48 hours ago, but everybody else gets their rankings.
Yeah.
Come on, Zorts. Get them by Tuesday night. Talk about them. You only got to work for 3 months out of the whole year. Come on.
Gridiron's going crazy. Hey, first off, just so you know, Gridiron, Zorts had a meltdown on Saturday morning, completely shut down, and the whole tournament had to be pushed back.
For teams trying to find out who they were playing?
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but the Zorts app completely shut down. Somebody hacked in, and I don't know, somebody from Russia.
Because I'll tell you, when you're at a tournament, those things are great because you get the scores from the other the other games that you didn't necessarily see. You get the standings, when you're ready to figure out what the bracket looks like. And obviously once the bracket play begins, everybody's looking at that to figure out what field they're going to be at and what time it is.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. All right. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Gridiron always holding it down. And the Inside the Numbers segment, the number 1 segment in high school football in the country. I've been told by people out of state that there is no better segment than the Inside the Numbers segment. They absolutely love it. So Gridiron running the numbers all the way up. And we got Beetlejuice coming up next. So,
all right.
Without further ado, you know the deal. Beetlejuice.
Being on some chill. Know yourself, know your worth. My actions being louder than my words. I ain't so
your little girls basketball over there. Got some Higley Gilbert highlights. Shout out to my guy BJ Media for taking care of all the transitions and things like that. And one and only Mr. Information, if you're looking for something going on in the world of high school football in the state of Arizona, because he is breaking everything and everything is breaking, the one and only Adam Beetlejuice. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. It's been a couple of weeks.
I know,
a lot of stuff going on, but it's good. It's watching this ASU basketball game. They're kind of putting it together, I guess. And then the Suns are cooking. Brooks had 15 in the first quarter, which was
Brooks is the dog.
What we love to see. I'm here for it.
I'm a fan. First off, I'm a Dylan Brooks fan. And even though I beat the Suns and the D-backs up on the show with predictions, I'm always happy to see them doing well and doing better than my predictions, especially the Suns, because I've been a Book fan. I'm a Dylan Brooks fan. I love Connor Gillespie. They just got some dudes that are fun to watch, that are enjoyable.
I just want everybody to know that Chili called me earlier today and said Suns and playoffs in the same sentence. So who would have thought that we would have been here? But I guess I haven't been on here since the Suns got past 30 games. So 31 wins, and well on their way to 32. I just want to make it clear that Chili said at the beginning of the year the Suns were only going to win 30 games. We are way on our way to headed past towards that. Probably will beat the Knicks eventually at some point again too. Everything is going fantastic for the Suns right now.
Since you said that, the only way the Suns and the Knicks play again is if it's in the finals. If the Suns and the Knicks are in the finals, Adam, you can clip this because I know you will and you'll hold on to this. If the Suns and the Knicks are in the finals in 2026, I will take you to a game. Everything on me. Food.
Heard it here
everything.
first.
I might take Gridiron too. I might take Gridiron too. So just so you know, if the Suns and the Knicks are in the finals,
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Just so you know.
It's like almost as big as the bet I made with Vince Amy last year.
Was this when he gave you the nickname Ultra Perm?
Yeah.
He did give you that nickname, which was amazing. And you're like, no, it's all good. Like, player.
I don't think a lot of people know the context behind that.
It was a funny moment.
It was great. It was great.
Coach Amy gives you a nickname. You just accept it graciously. Look, the transition was girls basketball, and we are going to talk about some basketball, and we're going to talk about some girls stuff. The first thing that we're going to get into is the girls stuff. Something amazing happened this past weekend. I actually feel like it was amazing. I'm going to share this little tweet that we got from the NFL, that we screenshotted from the NFL and got about one of our local girls doing a thing. Samaya Taylor Jenkins went absolutely bonkers at the flag exhibition out there. Can you talk about it? Do you know enough about what happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, for starters, how about, one of our own from the state of Arizona getting a start in what is essentially, you could call it basically the girls flag football Pro Bowl. So I think just the fact that that she was able to go out there and represent this state and Hamilton and just the growth of the game is super cool. And she is the only one who scored for the NFC. I feel like that's pretty legit. And, the more I see Samaya, make plays and get all this recognition, not just locally, but nationally as well, the more I hope and pray and just cannot wait to potentially see her play in the Olympics in 2028. And if that's the case, I will absolutely be there because I just think that's the coolest thing ever.
Hey, this is her in the blue in the end zone. being circled by the cursor, just so you guys know. And she sliced and diced and walked her way in there, showing off the athletic ability and stuff. And she was absolutely incredible all season long. So it's super fun to watch her. And also, Adam, we can't forget, kind of a classmate of yours, right? Because you guys went to the same school. Was she there then?
Yeah, well, so she's what, a 26, so I guess she would have been there my junior and senior year, but I didn't, Hamilton at that point in time was huge, so I rarely saw kids that weren't, maybe a grade below me or a grade above me. So
well, we could have another moment where classmates hand each other like a Lombardi type trophy. I know we saw that this past weekend. When the coach from the Seahawks received
that was super cool.
Trophy.
That was super cool.
Yeah, hey, we could see it with you handing her some sort of championship trophy or Olympic gold medal. Or something
maybe
like
I get
that
the whole hand out the Olympic gold medals. Ooh,
that would be if
now we're talking.
Hey, if you're handing out Olympic gold medals, you better get me a credential. Something
crazy is gonna happen the next 2 years. I would be like, well, I don't know how it would happen, but if it does, cool. Hey, I would love that.
I'm here for it. But anyway, shout out to Samaya Taylor-Jenkins and all the cool things that she got the opportunity to do. I know that Coach Bourget was out there. I'm not sure if this was the thing that he was coaching. I know that he was coaching something out there during the Super Bowl, some flag I don't know if this was it or the celebrity game.
I don't know either. But hey, shout out to Turf though for getting it done last weekend. That was a huge win.
Took care of biz. They looked absolutely insane. They have some dudes on
and
that
the video
team.
that Battle did putting the thing on the sphere. I don't know. I saw it on Instagram. I thought that was cool. Just shout out Turf.
Also praise. All right. Hey, the other thing, we got something really, really cool taking place on Val Vista. I think it already passed, right? We got to show some love to our guy, local legend, already won an NBA championship and in town for a super special event that is taking place. It is Perry's Jalen Williams. He's having his jersey hung up in the rafters.
Yeah,
what you said? It's like Jalen Williams Day over there.
First player from Perry to have their jersey quote unquote retired. So pretty cool. And what's crazy is we probably are going to see maybe 2 or 3 more players in the next, at least for sure, the next 10 years, for sure. Maybe the next 5.
Who else do you think?
Well, I'm sure Cole will be up there eventually. Cody Williams hasn't. I'm sure at some point Cody Williams will get his jersey retired.
Okay.
He hasn't been as good as Jalen's been in the NBA. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's one guy I'm missing. I'm sure we'll get another prospect that'll come through Perry the next couple of years. That will earn that right as well.
Your guy Jackson Shaw tweeted out something cool. Apparently, they are also giving away these shirts or something like that.
Yeah. Like it reminds me of like those like slam shirts. Like Koa and the U of A guys just got like a new slam. It was him, Braden Burries.
Oh yeah.
Someone else. That's kind of reminds me of. I just thought those are cool, and it looks like there's a bunch of students there that were rocking it. So and there was a bunch of Thunder players there, including Jared McCain, who I guess just became a Thunder not too long ago. So
yeah,
the rich keep getting richer, I guess, for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But
well,
nonetheless,
got a lot of assets so they can move around. So
nonetheless, super cool. I mean, you talk about Jalen. I think this is a kid that has represented Arizona. I have ironically run into Jalen Williams at a Wingstop in Chandler about 2 or 3 times in the off season. So it's pretty funny, but it's cool to see a player of his caliber, still recognize his roots. I think that's super cool, and that Perry has always done a good job with their players who go on to play the next level, like Brock Purdy, and showing them love and showing them recognition and just stuff like that. So super cool.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. They've done a great job at that. I think that this is super cool, man. I mean, just the things that he's accomplished and he's really put on for the school, and he's always done a good job remembering to acknowledge where he's from. I remember he did a GQ 10 things I can't live without, and during that whole thing, like he showed his like wallet or whatever, and he pulled out his like Perry school ID This is like
That's
this
awesome.
is probably like 2 years ago or something like that, while he was with the Thunder, obviously. So like, it's just really cool. Like, I mean, he has this like little moment. I think it's like a 13-minute segment or 12-minute segment or whatever, and he took the time to make sure that everybody knows, like, hey, look, I still keep this little memento of my high school years with me, which I always found like super cool. So
I think I've
forget.
still got my high school. I think I have it.
Oh, now you still got your high school ID with you too. Everybody's doing it.
I
It's a
think
cool
I do.
thing.
No, I seriously think I do. I think it's in my backpack because I've never taken it out. Because my senior year, for some reason, they gave me like 3 different IDs. I was like, why do I need all these? Like, one was like so I could like, because I was doing EVIT that year. So like, one was like I could get out of school early. The other was like a normal one. The other one was like an athletic pass, so I could get on to the athletic events. And it was like, I don't know why I needed all of them, but I had them.
They needed the Adam Beetle. They needed the Beetlejuice, and then they needed the breaking news Beetlejuice. So,
I guess.
They needed all the IDs. You have plenty of aliases, but hey, anything else transpiring in the world of high school football? Since I got you on, I might as well ask you anything that anybody should be surprised about. Are we closer to finding a new coach at Queen Creek or Mesa? Or one of those.
Yeah, it's actually great you brought that up. I did hear that Queen Creek did conduct their first round interviews last week. So they've started talking to applicants. I know that there are 2 or 3 that they are favoring strongly, or at least I believe have the best chance at winning the job. I have heard absolutely nothing out of Saguaro. I don't know will win or what or how or when or what or how is gonna happen over there, which really sucks because that's a school that has a lot of potential based on the area it's at, based on the prominence it has. I just think that I don't know. It's such a weird spot that we're in with this whole situation, and obviously what has transpired in that administration over the last couple of months, and then Mesa as well. I know they have started taking applicants. I'm not sure where their process is with the interviews. There's also, as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe that Kleka is running the interview process. I think there is somebody else that is in charge of that. Don't quote me on that. I just, based on who I've heard from and who I've talked to, that seems to be the case.
Hold on, Beetle, you just said that on the show, so I don't have to quote you on it. People are gonna be like, "Oh, Beetle said that," so that's actually what's happening. Just so you know.
No, I know.
Because, okay.
So, but yeah, so there's that, and then I think
Disclaimer,
as well,
Beetle represents himself and does not
really. Also, there's still, I've heard a couple other things about some players that are moving around. We had Chaden Ism, who's moving from Mesa to Basha. It's going to be a huge boost on the interior for Basha's offensive line. I presume that he will have to sit 5 games, though, and then he'll be eligible that week 6. I think he has a really good chance of starting in the interior as soon as he becomes available week 6 for Basha. There was another player we had transfer. Chase Ochoa. I mean, you talk about a huge big win for Liberty in their running back room. They've got Jaden Sanchez back there as well. So, maybe Colin Thomas stealing a little bit out of Coach McDonald's playbook and going with that 1-2 punch at running back next season. Will be interesting to see. And then another thing
and hold on, just so we're clear, I do want to make sure that I shout this out. Shout out to Coach Clement, who has developed a hell of a right side of an offensive line. He's got 2 super talented freshmen that average between the 2 of them. They're like 6'6", like 380 or 280 or something like that. So they're going to be fine. And then their center was also, I believe he was starting, and I believe he was a freshman also. So, they're going to be okay for the next couple of years up front. Just so we know.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's still, Liberty will always be a team that is going to be, at the top every single year. I feel like that's just a conversation we have. Is just the way that they're developed and they're grown. They're always going to have dudes that are coming to make big plays. The last thing I've got in the high school football world is I've heard lots of interesting things about the first week of the Arizona high school football season. And I'm I'm hoping that we get to talk about some of those things very, 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 very soon. I know a couple of them are in the process of getting finalized. And another thing as well, ALA Queen Creek is going to be taking on Lehigh at some point, the beginning of the season, which should be a really interesting and fun matchup. I believe ALA Queen Creek is traveling out to Utah to go play that game. I think it's going to be week 2. So whatever week that is, I'm sure it's beginning of September. Which should be a lot of fun.
That'll be cool. Shout out to Pocari Sweat. This is a hydration drink, just so everybody knows. I got to show them some love. Apparently, I don't show them enough love on the show, and I got to start showing companies love. Which, by the way, shameless plug: AALL.net, partner in Flight Club. I got to make sure I show them love. Adam Beadle being the face and voice of Flight Club, so got to make sure we show love there. And then also our guys, Recruit ID, with the cool recruit bands that kind of like. Transport stuff. You tag the band to a phone, and all of a sudden all your contacts come up. So like when you're going through camps and things like that and meeting these coaches, you can just get their phone. Boop,
you don't I gotta say, you don't gotta be a player to wear a Recruit ID band too. I wear mine around all the time, and it's got all my info on it, and it makes it super easy, especially in this industry, just networking with people. It's very convenient. I can just boop, there you go. There's all my info, there's all my stuff.
Facts.
Perfect.
Hey, if Beatles using it, kids, for sure, this is something that you want to use. So, Beatles going to be the next future endorser for Recruit ID. And then also Burrito Express, by far, without question, before 2 p.m., the heavyweight champion of breakfast burritos. Before 2 p.m.
I haven't had Burrito Express in a minute. That sounds like a good reminder. I need to go get some. Because it's been a minute. Sure. I've got one right. They moved to rural in Broadway right here in Tempe, so it's like a 3-minute drive from my apartment.
Are you on Rural and Broadway?
I'm on Rural and Patchy.
Oh, holy smokes! That's lit. Okay, I think that's right. I think you did tell me that one time. All right. Also, before I forget, just so that everybody knows, Adam Beadle has been the voice of some basketball stuff lately. You've been calling some high school basketball games on Tuesdays, which is part of the reason you haven't been here, and also calling some college stuff. I believe you did ASU Colorado. It's a foregone conclusion that this will be Bobby's last year. I'm heartbroken.
I can't say anything official, but it you get that vibe that, like, at least sitting and talking with him and just
he's done. He's checked out.
Post games. It feels like I don't want to say he's totally checked out, but as the season has gone down, it feels like there's less and less and less and less hope every single day and after every single game. They're playing. I was just watching. They're playing Oklahoma State right now. I'm not sure what the score is, but what really is the same problems year after year after year that just keep lingering, and it really hasn't been fixed since pre-COVID. I feel like.
Beetle, before I let you go, this is the last thing I'm going to ask you, and it's in regards to this tragic, what I believe is tragic situation. Is there a coach that you feel like is out there, having done some of your game research and things like that? Maybe you did some external stuff. Is there a coach out there that you're like, oh, we can get him and he can turn this around? Is there a Molly Miller for ASU?
I absolutely think he is. I absolutely think there is, and he happens to be an Arizona State alum, and that's Jameli McMillan. He is an assistant on the Detroit Pistons staff. He was the head coach of the G League team for Motor City. I feel like you bring him in, and Brian January as well is on the Motor City staff. He was on there with McMillan. Derek Glasser is another name I think too could potentially be some guy for ASU to look at, but I think there absolutely is some ways for the Sun Devils to get someone in that has the ties.
You think one of those guys could come in and turn this thing around in 2 years? Because that's the reality. That's how long you get.
I mean, you talk about McMillan. This is a dude that's been in the common era of the NBA, so he knows sort of how these guys who are coming up from college have been developed and have played. what the style and pace of the game is nowadays. I'm not saying that Bobby Hurley's out of touch with that. I just feel like he could kind of bring sort of a refresh into ASU, the same way Kenny Dillingham kind of brought in a refresh for football when he came in.
All right. That makes me sad, first off, because I am a huge Bobby Hurley supporter and advocate. I think that I literally think that he is a brilliant basketball mind through his own experience and the things that he's seen. I know it really hasn't, you can't really see it taking place on the ASU boys basketball court right now, but I do think that Bobby Hurley's legit, and NIL changes everything. And whoever comes in, I hope that they're given a huge opportunity with NIL, because without it,
and that honestly,
you
like
survive.
you bring up a good point, because I look at some of those Bobby Hurley teams that were really, really good, they had a very solid stretch from about 2016 to pre-COVID. And we're talking about a team with guys like Trey Holder, Shannon Evans, Cody Justice, who had been on the team for a second. A guy like Remy Martin, who just went from a sixth man to a starter to one of the best players in the Pac-12 and just waited his term. I still like, I think it's totally chill that Remy said, I'm going to go spend my last year at Kansas and win a natty after,
For sure,
busting his butt off at ASU for a couple of years. Like, that's totally respectable. I just think that Bobby Hurley, for a lot of his coaching career at ASU, kind of built his system as, we're going to bring in guys, develop them for a couple of years, and then slowly, it's kind of climbing the ladder sort of thing. And in that new world of NIL, especially in basketball and in football, you see it. Arch Manning, I think, is one of those guys that is a prime example of going there and winning the term. But in basketball, it's kind of like you either see the court, and if you don't, then you're out of there. There's no like, I'm going to get better, develop. It's like, I'm going to go somewhere and just play. That is a complete 180 from, I feel like, what the style of Bobby Hurley's, the teams that ASU had that were very, very successful is different about.
No, you're right. You're right. I just wanted to see Bobby get it so bad. I wanted to see this thing work out. The pre-pandemic stuff, you hit the nail on the head. It's just super unfortunate how derailed ASU boys basketball got after the pandemic, and
which is crazy, because I think that pandemic team, honestly, I kid you not, the how well they were playing late in that season, I think they could have been
win
a
the
Sweet
natty
16 team.
Win the natty.
Not win the natty, but I think they totally could have made a run of the Sweet 16 for sure.
Get the net. I'm telling you, they would have done their thing. All right, and I guess we're gonna leave it on that, on the sour note of the Bobby Hurley situation. But ASU spring football coming up, and coming up fast, and they're gonna be doing a whole bunch of cool stuff, obviously with their own practices. So I'll be seeing Beetle a lot more, especially since I live here now again. And then also on top of that, they're going to be having their own sevens and their own camps. So make sure that you stay tuned to Twitter. I'm sure that me and Beetle will be like retweeting a lot of that stuff as it comes about. Also, girls flag football really starting to take shape and blast off with the Fiesta Bowl.
I'm super excited for that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
A little more.
I forget what the dates are. I'm going to look it up real quick, because I think it's sometime around Easter.
April, but March.
Oh, girls.
That would be April. That would definitely be April. But super excited to get the opportunity, because
there we go. April 18th and 19th. I think this is going to be super fun. It's here at ASU. I think this is going to be the first real taste of Division I girls flag football. It's going to be a statement. It's going to be, hey, listen, there's these girls that are really talented, and they're out here to play. They're out here to compete really hard. And so I'm very, very excited. I'm hoping to go out to this for at least one of the days, and just watch hopefully some competitive football. And I think it's going to be cool to see these girls showcase their talents.
Yeah, and at some point, Rylan Bourget is going to be making her ASU flag football debut. I know that is something that me and Beetle are looking forward to seeing, because her talents have been I don't want to say hyped up in a bad way, but hyped up, and something that we're all waiting to see, because we know what she's capable of on the field. So at some point, we're going to catch that. Real quick, before I let you go, I know I said I was going to let you go a minute ago. GCU did, and I want to show them love. GCU absolutely pasted ASU early. This was without Rylan Bourget, and they absolutely pasted ASU early on. And at some point, I think ASU is going to get their lick back and do their thing. But shout out to Coach Elizondo, trying to put a juggernaut together over there at GCU. And I want to support ACU also because I know they got girls flag football over there. And they're doing their thing with the former Hamilton coach who's over there taking over and putting this thing on the map. Girls flag football is here, and it's here to stay. The fastest growing sport, one of the fastest growing sports in the world. So, Beetle, I'm gonna let you get up out of here because I know you got homework and things to do, and Mexican food to eat and stuff like that. So I'm gonna let you get up out of here. Beetlejuice.
Got everything, I got everything. It's a lot, never mind what I got. Don't watch that 'cause it's all me.
That definitely got to be Makai Nelson doing people bad. Holy smokes. I didn't know he was getting it like that at Red Zone, but he certainly was. D1 5 Stars was cooking and getting busy with it. So shout out to all 7 teams that are, doing things the right way and making sure that they're composed and just out there competing and getting after it. I see everybody picking up on some 7 stuff, even the ones that hate it. So like, I just want to show support to the kids that are, out there doing it the right way, getting it. So your boy Chili, I'm going to make my way out of here at Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Holler at me if you need anything, justchili.tv. Subscribe on YouTube, Just Chili TV, and TikTok and all that stuff. Let's get the conversations going. Anything you guys want to talk about, you know the deal. Holler at me whenever you get a chance. Forks up forever, and I will be seeing y'all sometime soon.
So long, I must have superpowers, rap